Hi everybody. I'm going to try something a little different today. This is just kind of for fun. I want to say that I personally love it when people leave comments or respond in some way. That's one of the first things that I do when I turn on the computer, is I usually check to see if anybody's left any comments or anything like that. And I always get excited. I love that back and forth communication. You know, I just love it when that happens and a back and forth happens. But this is just kind of a fun video. I also like it when people respond to questions that I ask. And I'm subscribed to a channel here. This is a Norman's Rare Guitars. It's a store in Los Angeles, and they have a YouTube channel. It's one of my favorite channels. And I'm just doing this for fun, but I sent in a question and they answer it here. So I thought that I would just show it. This is Norm over here with the dark shirt on, and this is a friend of his. And I just have a real simple question. And okay, so here we go. Let's just give it a little watch.
We got a good selection. All right, Wayne Garden wants to know. He says, "Hi Norm, love your videos and hope to visit the shop one day. I own a Martin D35 and love it. My question is, what's the most valuable Martin you have in the shop, and do you have any really unique Martin guitars?"
Well, we have a 1934 Herringbone D28. It's the first year that they came out, and it's a spectacular guitar, just incredible. We have a 1928 00045 that we'll be happy to show you as well. It's also another really insanely cool Martin acoustic. That's a 12-fretter.
Yeah.
And we just got them from all age groups.
All across the board. Yeah.
Loads of different models, different sizes, different woods, different ornamentation.
And it's usually age that contributes to the rarity of a Martin, right? The older they are, you know, you're lucky if you see one in a lifetime. You know, some of the things he's talking about. So.
Sometimes, you know, guitar value is based on supply and demand. So sometimes you can have something that there's only one of, but nobody seems to care, and that doesn't drive the price up.
Yeah.
It's when 10,000 people want something and there's a million. When there's 10,000 people who want something and there's only, you know, a few
like
that
a
are available.
D18 or whatever.
Yeah, it drives the price up.
Right.
So you know, again, if there's something that there's very few of, but nobody seems to care, the price stays low.
Nobody knows what it is. Yeah, I get it. Okay, Joe Thompson.
So that was pretty cool. All right. So here's another clip. This was from Tom's Guitar Show, filmed back in March. And anyway, every now and then I'll go and watch his show. And anyway, so I make an appearance in this video. This is just for fun.
It's kind of boring, wasn't it? You see, guitar players would find my stories interesting, wouldn't they? And you could sit there thinking, gee, hope that doesn't happen to me, right? Yeah, because that's interesting. Anybody else, well, they changed the channel a long time ago. But the guitar, because I know there are a few guitar players who watch this show, and they're interested because they figure they don't have to do everything wrong because I'll do it on TV, and then they don't have to. So, anyway. Anyway. Question? Sure, we'll go with the microphone. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a couple of hollow body style guitars, sort of like the Ibanez there. And I was wondering if there's anything that can be done to help to control the feedback.
Right.
I've never actually cranked it up real loud.
Yeah.
But I've you know, when I play it, I usually play it rather low volumes. But I was wondering, is there like any pedals or any tricks that can be done to help to control the feedback on a
Right.
on a hollow body electric guitar.
Well, I got several things for you. One is you can it's proximity. You can let
There's me, looking quite bewildered. Okay.
get the right distance from the amp and everything like that. You can do that, and of course equalizing it and find that notch filters. You can filter it out. There are feedback suppressing pedals and some like well, one of my acoustic guitar amps has this feedback suppressing like thing on it. You know, you little knob. You can push a button, turn a knob. So there's that, right? There's proximity to the amp. You know, if you get like it's far enough behind you, because some amps, you know, as long as it's right behind you, it won't be a problem. But sometimes it's, you know, it's a problem. So and there's that, and then there's well, I have this thing. I don't think I've actually called. Well, if I remember what it's called, I'll let you know. I haven't actually used it yet. I've had it for a long time. I was going to use it for it's an all-in-one little device. It's phantom powers, feedback suppressor, things like that. Choose that. You know, you can get a pedal or an attachment to your amp. Another thing a lot of people do is they stuff their guitar, as in they just, you know, fill it full of cloth. Take a long, skinny piece of cloth and just, you know, keep shoving it in there. And by stuffing it like that, you can suppress the feedback that way. But yeah, that's the. I have a lot of trouble with feedback when it. And actually, I have I have several guitars that, you know, I have a little collection, of course. Well, I have a few guitars. Okay, so like this, a guitar like this, because it has a big plank of wood. This is hollow, but here there's a plank of wood. That actually helps. And like a 335 has a chunk of wood, and it has what they call wings, right? So it has two hollow spots on either side. So, you know, if I were going to play it at a higher volume, I'd switch it to a different guitar. I have one guitar I've been, you know, I bought on a whim in the pawn shop because it was a really good deal, and it needed a lot of cleaning up and fixing. But it's a Sheraton, Epiphone Sheraton 2, and I had it in the show a couple of times, and I almost brought that instead of this one to this show. But it's really pretty good about feedback, not feeding back. This Ibanez and well, Gretsch that I have, and they go down Fifth Avenue guitars. They're like big fat hollow bodies. They feed back really easy. You can only I just play them at low volumes if I want to turn it up. And then finally, I'd say that if I want to play jazz and get that jazz sound, I have other solid body guitars that make really good jazz guitars, and they don't feed back. You have to really try hard. But yeah, hope that's
helpful.
Yeah, stuffing them. Yes, you stuff it. Yeah, sounds like an insult, but oh, stuff it, man, stuff it. No, sorry.
One of my guitars is I believe you have one similar, a Gretsch Electromatic.
Yeah.
With it's a piece of wood that sits underneath the, like the bridge area, and a center block.
Yeah. Is it?
That helps too with the feedback.
Yeah, I haven't noticed too much trouble with my Gretsch feeding back. I haven't really played it that much, but big white Gretsch with a Bixby. I call it Moby Dick, but it's just a whim, you know. But yeah. Well, there are like those design features, and I'll say that the 335 design isn't nearly as this semi-hollow body is what they call that. So and there's certain levels of like chunks of wood underneath the top, depending on what it is. But yeah, I have this one guitar though that I actually when I got there, I borrowed it and I bought it the next day. And I remember when it was when the Los Angeles Classical Guitar Quartet, the LA CGQ, played at the Coralville Performing Arts Center. It was that night, so I had to leave the show right afterwards and then run over there. I had borrowed it, and so I tried this DBZ, as in DB Zielinski. I don't think they're making guitars anymore. I think it might be pretty much out of business, but it's the Imperial. So it's shaped like an it's actually shaped like a Gibson SG, the double cutaway, but it's a lot bigger. But it's very, very, very thin. The body's not very deep at all. It's a solid body. And it's very, very dense hardwood. And you knock on it, it's like zings like a gong. You knock on it. And I played that. I brought that one to the show, and I brought my old DeArmond X155, which is a big fat, hollow body. And I really couldn't decide like which one I thought sounded better, because the Dean, which is a very versatile guitar, I guess you can use it for rock and roll or whatever. It makes a great jazz guitar if you fool around with it the right way. And I don't know if I still was playing through that. I might have still been playing through that one acoustic guitar amp too. That ultrasound made a good jazz guitar amp. But anyway, yeah. And I love that guitar. I don't actually have it out much. I got out and dusted it off and was messing around with it. I just haven't had it out of the house for a while. But I get the big, lush jazz sound because instead of having a big, deep hollow body, which is prone to feedback, I have this great big, flat piece of, laminated different layers of very hard wood. And the whole thing is alive. It zings, So anyway.
Thanks a lot.
Sure. And also, I'll tell you that one of my things I played the Jazz Summit at.
Okay, so I hope the people found that interesting. Thanks for watching that.